And joining us now is Congressman Jim Himes of Connecticut. He is the ranking member of the House Intelligence Committee. Congressman, we'll dig a little deeper into Section 702 in a moment, but just your reaction to this small group of ultra-conservative Republicans blocking a vote.
Well, it's, Anna, what it is at its core is a deeply undemocratic thing, because what Marjorie Taylor Greene is doing, what Matt Gaetz will do, what, probably a dozen or so Republicans will do, when they say we're going to stop a rule, they're taking advantage of this bizarre quirk of a very, very narrow Republican majority to basically exercise a personal veto. So, in other words, I will take down a rule. That's what happened yesterday. It wasn't one, it was 19 Republicans. But the point is, and I think you made this point, the House should be allowed to work its will. So whether it's on Ukraine aid, where you would have in excess of 3/4 of the Congress supporting it, or FISA 702, which is a critical intelligence collection mechanism that's keeping us safe right now, these people are saying my political needs, probably my low-dollar fundraising needs, are so important that I'm going to create an explosion which damages the national security of the country, which is undemocratic because it prevents the House from working its will. But you know what? I'm going to curry a little bit of favor with Donald Trump and Mar-a-Lago, so that's a trade.
So you're right. This rebellion was a blow to Mike Johnson orchestrated by Donald Trump. Are you surprised then that Johnson is going to travel to Mar-a-Lago on Friday to deliver remarks about quote-unquote election integrity with Trump?
I'm not one bit surprised. I mean, again, we talk about McCarthy, we talk about Johnson. People always say, is he doing a good job? It doesn't matter who is in that role. It could be any Republican. It could be Jim Jordan. It could be Kevin McCarthy. It could be anybody. Nobody can manage the Republican caucus when an individual like Marjorie Taylor Greene or Lauren Boebert or Matt Gaetz or Marjorie Taylor Greene over again, because she's the one in the forefront these days, has a veto over the actions of the House. And so, I'm sorry to see him go to Mar-a-Lago, because one thing I'll say for Speaker Johnson, I haven't had a lot of contact with him. I think I disagree with Speaker Johnson on every substantive thing, but he does appear to me to be a man of some integrity. And so, I don't know what that's going to do to his immortal soul to be standing next to Donald Trump, but I guess that's what he needs to do.
Should Democrats come to his rescue then if somebody like Marjorie Taylor Greene tries to oust him?
Well, this has been much talked about, right? Because, again, Marjorie Taylor Greene and two of her friends could take down the speaker. On the one hand, it is not the Democrats' job. These are the people who are calling us communists, who are attacking us, who are lying about us. It is not our job to rescue them from their own absolute chaos and dysfunction. On the other hand, at our hearts, we are get-it-done kind of people. We're the party that capped insulin prices at $35. We're the party that got a bipartisan infrastructure law done. We're the party that protected our veterans from burn pit diseases. And so in the service of continuing to get things done, we will always listen to proposals to stop this place from spiraling into complete chaos. But, again, that's hard. It's not our job to save Republicans from their MAGA chaos.
Coming back to FISA, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, and again, you're on the the committee there. What do you see as the consequences if it's not reauthorized or lapses? What does it mean for America's national security?
It cannot lapse. And I don't often make unconditional statements, but it cannot lapse. It is our single most important intelligence tool. To illustrate that, I will tell you that in excess of 60% of the entries in the President's Daily Brief, this is our most exquisite intelligence product, come from 702. If you turn on any channel, you will see that it is a much more dangerous world today than it was 5 years ago. Terrorism concerns are up. China, Russia, Iran, North Korea. Now the allowing of this collection tool to lapse would be a catastrophe. Yes, it does need to be reformed substantially. We are doing that, but nobody should be suggesting that we should allow this thing to lapse, because there is no doubt in my mind that lots more fentanyl will get into the country, more Americans will die. The Chinese and the Russians, by the way, will pop champagne if this dysfunctional Congress allows that authority to lapse.
Congressman Jim Himes, thank you so much for your time.